Is Fort Knox empty? Kentucky Senator Rand Paul has tried to look with his own eyes.
So, Senator, I didn't know it was that much money there, and I was even more surprised that there's been no review.
Well, you know, I've been trying to go down and see the gold, make sure it's all there for about 10 years. 10 years. 10 years.
Rand Paul's been trying to look for 10 years, has been unable to, so is the Fort Knox gold gone? And is Bitcoin going to be the only solution to what could be mankind's largest fraud in history? Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you why Bitcoin is better than gold, but let's back up a bit. This is actually the tweet that started it all, Zero Hedge. It would be great if Elon Musk and Doge could look at inside Fort Knox just to make sure the 4,600 tons of US gold is there. Last time anyone looked was 50 years ago in 1974. Elon Musk responded, well, surely it's reviewed every year, right?
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Zero Hedge responded, it should be and it isn't, and you're darn right it is serious. This is a live look at the auditor inside Fort Knox now. Now, I don't know how accurate that video is, but Rand Paul did respond to Elon Musk. Surely it's reviewed at least every year. Nope, let's do it. So we got an article here. Elon Musk Doge prepares to audit the gold reserves at Fort Knox after urging by Senator Rand Paul. And so now Elon Musk has set his sights on an audit after it was revealed there is no yearly review for the world-renowned stash of gold. And we just played the clip from Rand Paul. He's been trying to verify it himself for a decade and has failed thus far. And the New York Post has reported on the value. The reserve has been valued at $425 billion. Now, Rand Paul had one more thing to say here.
You know, I think some of them may not think it needs to be audited all the time, but I think the more sunlight, the better, more transparency, the better.
Now, what if we get that transparency, and what happens if Doge audits Fort Knox and it is empty? You're talking about a very scary scenario, and here's the scariest of scenarios. So Walker is saying this is what's going to happen. They got about 66,000 followers, and they host the Titan podcast on Bitcoin. Elon pushes Trump to audit Fort Knox. Audit reveals there is less than the 500 tons of gold. Trump realizes China and Russia, they have way more gold than the US, but they have very little Bitcoin. Trump issues executive order for strategic Bitcoin reserve, citing national security. The money printer goes brr, and the US buys as much Bitcoin as the market will sell. Price of gold collapses in Bitcoin terms. And we're going to look at the gold and Bitcoin chart in a second. China and Russia realize Trump got the jump on them and start buying more Bitcoin. Price of gold collapses further. Peter Schiff, the famous gold bug, maybe he's admitted to a mental hospital. I don't know about that last one. If you're using cold storage, don't use the bootleg products out there. Stick with the best so your portfolio is also going to be the best and the most secure out there. And we're talking about Arculus Cold Storage with their new sleek premium metal cards. They have all different types and styles, embedded, metal veneer, metal hybrid. Imagine the looks around the table when you slam down your 21-gram full metal cold storage card. Everyone's going to be in shock. Everyone's going to be in awe. And it's not just your portfolio bags, it's how you're securing it with the Arculus Cold Storage. Make sure you use code DC20 to save you 20%. But I do know Bitcoin fixes this, folks. Bitcoin is better than gold. Here are some compelling reasons why. They start off strong. Bitcoin reserves can be freely audited 24/7. So unlike physical gold, Bitcoin allows anyone to verify ownership. With gold, you have to trust the auditor. With Bitcoin, anyone can be the auditor. So we're seeing a major difference right there. Number two, Bitcoin cannot be faked, unlike gold. And when they talk about faking gold, they're not talking about fool's gold. They're talking about gold bars filled with tungsten bars that are just coated with gold. Apparently, there could be tons and tons, literal tons, of fake gold being held in some of these bank vaults. And so Bitcoin cannot be faked, unlike gold. And it's not just faked, it also can't be diluted. Only 21 million Bitcoin will ever exist. One day they'll be mining gold off of asteroids. That's going to be a lot different world when it comes to gold valuation. But now let's get into the charts. I said I'd show you the charts here. So what we're looking at is gold versus Bitcoin. Gold is the purple line, Bitcoin are the candles, and we're starting January 1st. You can see it right there. So we're starting at the beginning of the year, and we're just looking to see how gold has performed and how Bitcoin has performed. Now, Bitcoin, very flat over the past, I think it's 47 days we're looking at. And you can see it right there, right above my head, 1.69, 1.84, kind of fluctuating around right now. But Bitcoin has gained less than 2% since the start of the year, so year to date. If you look at gold, however, gold is up over 10%. And so we are starting to see gold outperform Bitcoin in 2025. But when you zoom out, that doesn't last long. Bitcoin is programmed to beat it. It's definitely programmed to beat it by a wide margin. And so next time you have a relative telling you, oh, well, don't worry about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's fake. Bitcoin can be manipulated. Bitcoin's not even real. You can't even touch Bitcoin. We'll say, well, how about the gold inside Fort Knox? There might be reports that it is completely empty inside there. So there's a lot of reasons why gold is going to be better than Bitcoin in the long term, but I'm seeing a lot of good, strong reasons in the short term as well. And that's all I got. If you're wondering, is there gold in Fort Knox? Hopefully that answers a lot of your questions. I'm DZ. I'll see you and your Bitcoin at the top.